Good morning, Remy.
Good morning, Breck.
I'm live from my truck in Utah in the parking lot of a complex.
I am live from my office having a slight mental breakdown because my old phone refuses to back up, so I have nothing on my new phone. But maybe I won't have an internet connection problem, so.
I know somebody asked me yesterday. They're like, "When are you going to get a new phone?" Because have you seen my phone?
I don't know, but the best is I took my case off to switch phones yesterday, and Trent looks at it, he goes, "Yeah, you need a new phone because the whole back is missing, all the glasses off of it." I was like, "Yeah."
Mine too. Mine has got whatever case I have on it is pretty good because mine, if you take the case off, there's a horse print in the back of my phone from where a horse literally stepped on it, and the whole front of it is cracked. And somebody's like, God, you are so good that you can read between all of the lines and the cracks in your screen. I'm like, I'm so used to it that
No,
whatever,
whatever.
whatever. Wow, liking your coffee mug there, Remy.
Mr. Jim Scott gave this to me.
So I forgot to get coffee creamer here. So I'm drinking my coffee with this Turini, is the syrup, coffee syrup.
Tarani.
Turini. I was like, that's probably not how I say it. And it's okay. It is okay. I'm like really missing my creamer right now.
I just drank mine black. So there's that.
Oh, I don't know how.
Although
So
I
yeah,
have your stuff boxed up to send, and then you can have pods of carrot cake, salted caramel.
really
The carrot
good.
cake's very good. It's very good. 'Cause you know what it tastes like? It tastes like the spices and seasoning that's in carrot cake, like that cinnamony nutmeg.
Yes, I like that. So good. So yes, crazy week. I'm on the road. You've got lots of stuff going on as always. And
Bodie was on TV last night.
yeah, yeah. It we're in Utah and the Days of 47 rodeo is going on and it's a USTPA show. So the first class of every day, the top four from that class goes to the rodeo and they ride during like in between the ropings, I think. So it's kind of cool. But last night it's like literally it's hot here. It's 100 and some degrees. So we are in tank tops and like no sweatshirts, nothing, nothing. All the blankets were taken out of the truck before we went because we have to drive a half hour to the rodeo. We get there, it is downpouring rain. We sat in it for like 2 hours, freezing our asses off. But when I looked around, everybody in the stands was also sitting in the rain, freezing their asses off because nobody was prepared, which we should have
Yeah,
been.
it's mountain weather, so there's that.
So yeah, it was fun. He ended up winning, which it would have been I think like well, A, you've got all of the noise of the people, which you've competed in a venue like that. Probably would not bode well for me because you can't hear your partners. You
It's
can't
and it was old school team penning. It was a giant rodeo arena, so
huge. It was really wide, really long, and the foul line was really short. And the cattle wouldn't stand on the back of the bullpen or bull chutes. So then it moved them up even further to the foul line. So it was hard. It was not an easy task for sure.
good for Bodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am just now my computer's restarting in the background. That's why I lost some of my light. So
Okay.
yay!
Well, I didn't bring a ring light, so I'm parked so the sunshine shines in on me a little bit.
Back up so you don't see my forehead wrinkles. This is living the dream. Hold on, friends. I'll
Well,
lift a finger.
so you were saying earlier, which I did not know, I did hear about it, and we've had this conversation so many times about the damn lottery. Um, it was up to 1 billion. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was up to or just shot. I think it was a billion because when you looked at all the signs, it said 999 million. Um, and so I bought my tickets.
I didn't buy any. I didn't. No,
For
I
the
didn't. I
love
didn't.
of Jesus, my computer. Yeah, so I bought my tickets. I did not win. Someone in California won.
They won in California last time.
It's our lottery.
Oh, that was the California lottery.
The Powerball.
The Powerball that goes throughout the United States.
Yeah, I mean, but it's our lottery. It's California's lottery. You guys just get to buy into it.
Stupid.
So if you won the lottery, because Breck has pressing things to do, which is saddling everyone else's shit. And I have a lesson to give. So we're going to do a quick and dirty show today. If
Yeah.
you won the lottery, Breck, what would you do with it? And don't tell me donate, none of those things. What are the fun things you would do if you won the lottery?
Okay, but in all honesty, like if I won the lottery, I really don't know because I've thought about it a lot. I don't know how much my life would really change. I think that I would go buy a nice living room furniture set. But I really don't know how much it would change because I'm kind of a minimalist. Um, I don't know what fun things I would buy, Remy. I would, because I say when I retire, I want to, when we're done with doing what we're doing in life, I want to buy an RV and travel. I want Brandon to drive the RV and me around so we can see the sights. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of freaking money. I don't know what you would do with that. You'd have to donate because there's no way.
I know, but those aren't the fun things to do with it.
I don't know what I would really do. I don't. I don't think that life would change much for me as far as like having a big fancy place or something. I know with that kind of money you'd be able to hire people to take care of it, but I'm like, oh God, it's so much work. I just don't know.
I'd buy a condo where we would go snowboarding. I think what it is just all the places I vacation, I would buy places at.
I know because Brayden and I have talked about it. We would just probably buy more horses and continue doing
Yeah,
a lot of the same thing.
I would buy a lot more cows. I would have an indoor air conditioned arena. That's it. Like, I
You
mean,
have really thought this through.
I've really thought this through, 100%. The one ranch that we run cows on, I would try and buy that, but I don't think even if I won the lottery, I'd have enough money. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Which is weird to me because money is weird to me that I don't know what I would do with it because I am that person who like I stress and worry about money a lot. And I hate that about myself because everything is always fine. But it's who I am, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy a house by the beach. I would buy the one ranch or a ranch similar to the one that we run on. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I kind of am, but it's because I'm like, I'm having a minor fucking breakdown about my phone not backing up.
I've
Anyway,
got people
I would buy
driving
a house
past me.
on the beach. I actually would not buy a houseboat at Lake Powell. I would still probably rent or do a timeshare because that seems like an awful waste of a boat. Yeah. I'd buy like a nice semi and cow trailer, like a really fancy one, like a really shiny
Fancy
one.
cow trailer.
Yeah. I mean, I would just have nicer things. I would still do what I do, just with nicer shit.
Yeah, maybe that's the good answer is nicer things. Still do what you're doing.
The same things, just nicer.
So, moving off of the lottery, I had a conversation the other night with one of Remy's really good friends and clients, Mike and Jenny Christensen.
Is Christian.
That Christian?
Just Christian. Christian, full stop. Don't worry, everyone
Christian.
does it.
I like to add the son on there. Anyhow, they were telling me that they went on a family vacation to Europe. 32 of them. And I was in awe, speechless. I was like, there is no way. I am sorry, but that sounds like torture. It sounds like something nightmares are made of. I could not do that. Could you do that?
No. And did she tell you that there was cursing in the Vatican?
Yes.
and by
they
an adult. So, I feel like that's how it would end for me. So,
about it. Like they had a lot of fun and they loved it and they wanted that experience and they do that often with their family according to what they told me. And I'm like, I heard crying, I heard swear, and I'm like, oh my God, I know that that is how that would end for me too. I'm like, it sounds terrible. 32 people, family members on it was a long vacation. I mean, they went to Europe,
like three
so it
weeks,
was,
yeah.
but how long did they go?
Like 3 weeks.
They went for 3 weeks.
Yeah, they were on the cruise. Well, they went
Didn't
to
know
Italy
that
first.
part. That's even worse. I mean, I think that
So
maybe
they went to Italy first, and then they went on a cruise, and then they went to Turkey. And I go, "How was it?" She goes, "We should have went home when we went to Turkey."
that is what she also told me. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it sounds like it reminds me of Home Alone when they all go on the family
So I
trip.
think it's like, so we used to do houseboat trips with like a lot of family and friends, and inevitably, at some point throughout the trip, you will not talk to everyone, like almost everyone, right? Like you make your way through, like, fuck that guy, fuck that guy, fuck that. I mean, you pick up the ones you stop talking to as you move on to the next person, but
I
uh,
feel like I would be saying several times, I am never doing this again. Like,
it
we're
is
never
it
doing
is
this
fun,
again.
and also in retrospect, like in hindsight, the stuff that was not great is very, very funny down the road. It
Oh,
just,
yeah, memorable, memorable. You will remember that kind of thing.
yeah, I don't.
So we do, and is coming up soon with Brandon's family, just his mom and dad, his sister, her husband, their two kids, me and Brandon, our two kids, and then his brother, his girlfriend, and her two kids. We all go to northern Minnesota, which remember last year, I think you did a talk by yourself. Um,
Yeah, because I was at Western States.
yeah, with Brandon.
Brandon.
Um, we do a week and we stay in tiny cabins together. We've always from the beginning stayed with Brandon's sister and her husband and kids, and it's tiny. I mean, it's a real tiny cabin. The living room has two single beds in it. It's very rustic. Let's put it that way. But good. We've learned how to live with them. They know our boundaries. We know their boundaries. All is well. We get along great. Now, I don't think that I could do that just with anybody, though. I can do it with them because Brianna is the boss. Brianna's the boss. We all know that Brianna's the boss. All's good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said with the Powell trip, so um, you kind of everyone learned their spot. Like
Oh my
we went
God.
one time though, and my mom makes this really good potato salad, and a new family had gone with us, and they went to help us. They went to help her make the potato salad, and my mom's potato salad is like egg salad with potatoes in it. Like it's really good, but it's not just like potatoes. And I think she'd said like some amount of mayonnaise, and she brought like the little jar. Remember, like the little jars of
Yeah.
mayonnaise. She said one jar of mayonnaise in it. So we had the little jars to make potato salad, and then we had like the giant Costco jars. So the lady's helping her make the potato salad and uses like the vat of mayonnaise. And my mom's like, I like mayonnaise. I don't like it that much because it was just like, mayonnaise soup with like pieces of potato and egg in it. And then that lady was also an artist. So then I remember I was hiking and like she's across the bay because you could hike up around the bay. So she's across the bay and she's like drawing this beautiful, our houseboat. It's like sketched out. It's beautiful. It's like perfect. And on top of it, she had tied, like in the drawing, a giant jar of mayonnaise on top of it.
Oh my God.
So funny. So,
I don't know. Like, so, well, and it, like, because everybody's so different personality wise. I mean, my family is fly by the seat of their pants. Like, we don't really, I mean, obviously, we have a schedule during our basic work week, but when we're on vacation, like, there's no itinerary. Like you wake up when you want to wake up. You decide that day what you're going to do. There is no itinerary. We like it that way. Most of the general population does not live that way. When they go on vacation, it's like we are going to be downstairs eating by 8 a.m. Then we're going to the zoo. Yeah, I mean, it's like a full freaking day, and that does not work for me.
So we went snowboarding this winter, and James is like, Remy, we are on vacation. I was like, so vacation for you is like hanging out with the boys and playing board games and maybe going down the mountain. I was like, vacation for me is being on the mountain as soon as it opens until it closes. But like we are not scheduled people anyway. And we used to go with this one guy too, and he was always like, and honestly, Lake Powell is really flat most of the time, so you don't really need to wake up early. Some lakes you have to wake up early to get the best water. And he would wake up at like 5:30 and we'd go skiing because it was like glass. And I can't tell you how many freaking sandbars he got our boat stuck on. So even when he did not go with us any longer, we still blamed every accident on the houseboat on him. Every time we're like, it's the ghost of Eddie. This is we just, I don't know, but I think like same thing, like you have to handle it. And Mike and Jenny have a very good sense of humor. I think you just have to handle stuff like that with a, with a good sense of humor. I mean,
they do. That is what
they
I'm
did
saying.
almost lose their son in Switzerland like 2 years ago. So he got mad and he hiked off away from them on what he thought was a trail back towards the hotel. And it was like just a cow trail.
What I'm saying. Like after that happened, I would be like, we're done doing this. We're not doing this anymore. Oh my God. So funny. If you guys have funny stories about family vacations, please. I wish I had like a super funny one, but I don't really. I mean,
I will tell you one more from Lake Powell, which was this the last time I went on like that was not just me, James, and the boys. We went with my dad, my stepsister, and she was pregnant at the time, my brother, and my stepmom. There wasn't a bunch of us, right? So actually, there's two stories from this one. My dad's always liked to explore. Like we always had Zodiac. Is that what they're called? The Zodiac, like the little hard bottom boats, like the blow up with the hard bottom. Anyway, we always had one of those. So we go exploring in Powell. At this point, the water had dropped drastically. And we're going down this canyon, and I'm like seeing a lot of stuff floating, like a lot of flotsam in the water, right? And I was like, Dad, I don't think this canyon is going to let out, right? Like we're now hitting debris. The walls are getting closer. We are in a rented speedboat. This isn't like a little excursion boat like we've had in the past. We're fine, Rem. We're fine. I know what I'm doing. Famous last words, right?
Famous last words.
So we come around the corner, and we are now stuck again in a rented speedboat with like 6 of us on there, and no way to get out. So James jumps out on one side. I jump out on the other. We're pulling. My brother's pushing the boat back off the front, and we had to go like a half a mile back through a canyon before we could turn around.
Oh my God.
But it's the same thing. My dad's like, I knew we were going to be fine. I was like, but we weren't. I mean, we weren't really fine. Just, and then the next night, so that was fun, but it's the same thing. Like I had to bite my tongue and be like, I fucking told you we were, like, I'm watching the water. Yes, Dad, you've been here a lot too, but so have I. Those are warning signs. Like when we're seeing tumbleweeds in the water, no fucking outlet, like we've reached the end of it. And in fairness, there's a lot of like canyons like that that'll kind of do that, and then they open up, except for when the water's this low, it just doesn't open up. So then the next night like Lake Powell's nice because you can see other boats, but you're not really close to people. Like you don't have to people at all if you don't want to. So we're making dinner, and you hear this like howling, like, oh, and then people stomping, like they're singing, and they're like counting something out. And I was like, it went to like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, these fucking people are wild, like wild. Wake up the next day, and I see, and they go by, and I was like, man, that kind of looks like my uncle. Then he swims over. He was my uncle and my aunt and their friends, and they'd all rented a boat, not knowing we were there. And they were just like, having a good
Oh
time.
my gosh. That's hilarious. I just think like right now, all of my girlfriends, they're going on family vacations. And it's just so funny to hear the stories and
But
oh
it's
my
like
God.
Christmas, right? It's the same thing as Christmas. It's like if I do all these things and I make it so pretty and nice, it'll be awesome. And
I
then
know.
it never
I
is.
know.
I mean, it's not that it's not awesome, but you're like, it's
I know. I know. It is hilarious to me. It's like we do this to ourselves. We think it's fun. We're creating memories.
and
We
that's like,
haven't lived together for how long and now we're going to try it for a week. That sounds great.
yeah, like that was like a purgatory when James was like, man, relax. We are here to relax. And I was like, this is relaxing to me.
This is so fun. It's like I always think that you know the meme with the guy and he's like his veins are popping out of his neck
Yeah.
and his eyes are and he's like,
Yeah.
I love horse shows. They're so much fun. True story. True story.
Yeah.
I've
Like,
been the
yeah.
bitch this week and I committed to being the bitch. I mean, it's hot. We've only got a few horses with it. It's hard on the horses and I'm fine doing that. I love to do it actually. And it's a lot of work. I didn't realize how much work it is being the bitch, you know? Like getting
Yes,
the
I do know.
horses.
I know precisely how much work it is.
Being the bitch is tough. It is hard work. So if you are that person for other people, good for you. Kudos to you.
It's a lot of work. It's okay though.
It is. It is funny. Um, it's funny too. Like, we were talking to somebody. They're like, "How do you guys travel so much together as a family?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, so many good times there." We have lots of stories though about that. I mean,
Fantastic.
mhm, yeah, like going down these mountains. I mean, going down these mountains by Utah that are just north of Utah. Um, that's real shit right there. That is
Yeah.
real shit right there. You guys know me by now. You know that I don't really like heights. I don't like curvy, windy roads that have a 6% grade in them. Um, I don't like bridges. We encounter all of that.
You're
And
never going to Canada.
oh, I've been lots of times, but I've never been to on well,
Because we take
I
like
go
we take the 15 straight north to the QE2, which means that you go through all the mountains. I think it's fantastic, but
I don't. I mean, in our truck, I'm pretty sure that there is a dent or at least a curvature to the plastic, like right by the door for me, like stomping my foot into it. And I just ride that. I don't know what I think I'm going to do. If we ever get in a wreck, I'm breaking my whole leg because I put so much pressure on it. Um,
yeah,
yeah, interesting. But we didn't, it was actually a really good trip out here. We didn't fight. I drove for 150 miles at 2 a.m.,
check you out.
really feeling like I'm pulling my weight this trip, Remy. Then I got into road construction and I couldn't see. There was no lines on the road. And I'm like, hate to be a pussy, but I'm tapping out. I
That's
am
my
tapping
favorite part
out.
about driving through New Mexico is like where it's like a reduced speed, right? Reduced speed, 75 miles an hour, and because that's a great reduced speed, and K rails, like concrete K rails on both sides.
I don't like that either. Mm-mm.
I don't either. I'll tell you, that's the one that messes me up.
You
But
will have to ask Robin and Stacy Wesner about their driving experience with me. In the daylight, we went to Walmart and I was driving and
I
I
can't
about
believe
killed
they
us.
let you drive.
Well, after we got to Walmart, Stacy then took the truck over from me. She's like, I'll drive because I literally about killed us. So all was well, but they were laughing. They're like, you really don't drive very much, do you? I'm like, not really anymore. Sounds crazy. I used to put on 1,000 miles a week and now I hardly drive.
Hey, look, Robin will drive to Texas to get like 2 more cents a pound on cattle. So
I
she's a
know.
mother trucker, man.
She is. Well, Robin was my passenger, and then the rest were in the back, and they were like, "Oh my God." Well, I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean,
You're
I
also lucky that
might have
Robin didn't
went.
stop and make you get out in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't supposed to turn left, and I didn't know that. Nobody said anything, and I freaking did it. I went right over a median. We're we're still alive to talk about it.
I just thought you like turned in a non-left turn lane, not over something. I'm
Yeah,
dying. It's hot. I'm
I
sweating.
know. Well, I better go so I can get my game face on for my boys here.
Well, good luck today. Well, you're not
Thank you.
riding.
No,
Good luck. Brayden tried to talk James into going like multiple times.
I know.
He's
I'm
like,
like, everybody misses you. Everybody wishes you guys were
I
here.
got a nice phone call. They were told me it was fine in the horse trailer, but I said I was enjoying laying across my bed with the air conditioning on. So
Oh, I'm
I
telling you
missed
what.
all of you guys, but yeah, in it to win it, my friend. And then I don't think we'll have Mindy next week. I think we have her the week after. I'm very excited for Mindy Barkmeyer to come on.
Yeah.
She's she's one of my favorite people. I really like Mindy. She's like a Michelle Cheek. She makes you feel good from the inside out. But
Love
she
that.
is also very sassy, so there's that.
Well, I suppose until next week, my friend,
All right. Be
be
bold,
bold,
be
be brave,
brave, be
be
humble.
humble.
Good luck to everyone in Utah. I will talk to you later.
Bye, Rem.